So that does show you, yes, you can do tier 100 with this build. I would just go straight up. I will just, if I ever turn my build into a video, I'm just gonna do this now. For the helmet, you want to get Blood Getter. If you get the extra, the extra stat, which that store is, you want intelligence and armor. For your temperament, you want to go maximum life. I got really lucky on this piece, but you want curse duration. And for all the armor, you want rubies. I don't have flawless rubies for everything just yet. For your chest piece, you want hardened bones with intelligence. Just really, and for your temperaments, and also armor. You want armor as well. For your temperaments, really any resistance that you need, and then curse duration. For your gauntlets, you want hulking with intelligence. And for your temperaments, you want golem damage and curse duration. For your pants, you want occult dominion. Normally you would put it over here, but because of the way, because you put reanimation on, because what you put on your weapons is you go blighted, you're gonna put it on your pants because it's really the best spot. For your temperaments, you want any resistance that you really need, and curse duration. Like I said, I got unlucky and I'm not in the mood to go find more pieces. For your boots, you want Ghostwalker as your affix. For your stats, you want intelligence. Really, it's intelligence if you're on necromancy, because this is a necromancer build. Maximum life. If you can get Golem Mastery on the things that can get Golem Mastery, use it, because Golem Mastery is really good. And for your temperaments, you want movement speed, curse duration, normal stuff. For your weapon, as long as it's a two-handed weapon, doesn't really matter what, you're looking for intelligence, max health, damage as a roll is pretty good, For your temperaments, also you're going to be using the Blighted Aspect, which procs Shadow Blight, because Shadow Blight's good. For your temperaments, you are looking for minion attack speed, and guess what? Golem damage. For your amulet, you are looking for specific. I have Fueled by Death because that's what I have it on. I probably should get a new amulet, but that's a me problem. You are gonna be putting reanimation, which after 10 seconds, extra damage for your minions. Cool. Who doesn't love extra damage? For your stats, you're looking for intelligence, damage. If you can get Golem Mastery, get it. For your temperaments, you are looking for Golem damage and resource cost reduction. For your first ring, you're going to be using Unyielding Commander for your aspect. For your stats, you are looking for intelligence, maximum life. And if you can Golem Mastery, get Golem Mastery, or just really any fucking... really anything, but the main thing is intelligence and maximum life. For your temperaments, guess what? Golem damage, baby, and resource generation. For the final ring, you're going to be using Inner Calm as your aspect. Looking for intelligence, I got a bad intelligence roll. Vulnerability damage. It's pretty good. Also, I forgot to mention, for our weapons, we are going to be using sapphires. And for your rings, you're going to be using diamonds. I don't have enough diamonds to make another flawless, so I'm using a basic diamond. And then for your temperaments, again, golem damage, and this is optional. This is just what I rolled. I have basic resource generation, but cost reduction, as it doesn't really matter. Now, before I go into the actual skills, I might go over Book of the Dead real quick. The reason why I have so much extra attack power outside of stuff like Son of Death and Fueled by Death is for your warriors, you're going to be using Reapers. The second option, which makes a corpse, don't really need corpses for this, but because of Blood Getter, if you happen to have a corpse in a boss fight, you can use Skeletal Priest to get the extra damage buff, which is always nice. For your mages, this is a big one. You're going to be using Shadow Mages, and the first option, because it gives a 3% damage increase for each active Shadow Mage, which if you used what was a Cult Dominion, you would get 18%, but on your amulet, because that's really the only other place you would put it, you would get 18%, but 50% is fine. Here is the big one. Golems. You are going to be using Blood Golems. The second option, because it heals itself and it also heals you. But the main thing is, while your Blood Golem is healthy, damage reduction, and guess what? Increased damage. Yes! More damage. Now, we will be going into the abilities. First off, Decompose, Enhanced Decompose. Acolyte's going to decompose for the vulnerable damage after 4 seconds. It also helps you to proc the Shadow Blade. So, also helps. 4, you put those 3 points here. You grab Blight, grab Enhanced Blight, and you grab Supernatural Blight, because once you hit something with Blight, you increase your minion damage and your damage by 20%. Doesn't really matter for your damage unless you're running a more corpse explosion damage, but the extra damage for your minions on a blighted target is always nice for boss killing. Now we come over to the Corpse of the Cop skills. We pick up 3 points of spiked armor for, more armor. 3 points of skeletal mastery, because always. 2 points into Grim Harvest. And 3 points in Field of Death after consuming a corpse, deal increased damage for 6 seconds. You don't really need to worry about it's at 6. You really just want to add 3 for the extra damage. Now we go into the Curses section. 3 points into Death's Embrace, 2 points into Death's Approach. But at endgame, you don't really need Death's Approach, because the movement speed really isn't that much, and you don't really need it. 3 points into Skeletal Mage Mastery, don't need to say why. 5 points into Decrepify. Enhance Decrepify. Abhorrent Decrepify. Also, I forgot to mention to pick up 3 points in Amplify Damage. 12% extra damage to cursed enemies. That applies to your minions as well, even though that doesn't really say it. Now we come over to Corpse and Macabre skill 2. 3 points into Gruesome Mending, and 3 points into Reaper's Pursuit. This is why you really don't need Death's Approach because of this. Now, for the ultimate section, 3 points into Golem Mastery, Army of the Dead, Prime Army of the Dead, and Supreme Army of the Dead. If you, for some reason, die, and you don't get all your minions back, you pop Supreme Army of Dead, and it raises it. Next up, 3 points into Bonded Essence. Every 8 seconds, your Skeletal Priest healing will heal your skeletons for an additional 60% of their maximum health. Also works on you when you use Blood Getter. Inspiring Leader. While you're healthy, you gain 12% increased critical strike chance, and your minions get increased critical strike chance. Always good. Halberd Commander, for your minions do 45% increased damage while you're close to them. Always good. More minion damage. For your key passive, you are going to be picking up Shadow Blade, because we are using the blighted aspect. Shadow Blade does extra damage It's always nice. Now, for the Paragon board, this is where things get fun. You go here, you go all the way up, you grab all these, you go right here, go up here to grab your glyph slot where you're going to be running exploit. You come over here, grab these, grab those, then grab the required dexterity to proc exploits, grab the 1 point into preservation, and then go up here into this board. This board is Cult Leader, because, you know, minion damage. Now you go here, 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 here. Grab these 3 magical nodes and the custody node. Come up here for your glyph slot. You're going to be using Dead Razor, because it's really good in this board, because you come over here, Overlord. Then you also get these 2. Then you come over here, up here, grab Puppeteer. Then you want to continue all the way up into Cult Leader. And then once you have grabbed Cult Leader, you're going to come over here. This board is Hulking Monstrosity. Now, for this board, you come all straight shot all the way over here. Grab the glyph slot. You're going to put Amplify in here, because it is honestly the best glyph for this slot, as it amplifies each of these magic nodes when it's at level 15 at least. It's going to reach all the way up here. So, you know, 23% extra golem damage, plus 23, or 21, my bad, I am sorry. So, you know, 63 extra golem damage, plus the 50, 100 and, you know, 110. Boom. Also, good stuff. When you come over here, grab Miscreation for the armor, then you come down here. I'll get over to where you get Hulking Monstrosity in a second, but I'm going to go the easier board right now, which is going down, 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 down. You come over to Frenzied Golem. Extra golem damage. You pick up the 1 thing of attack speed, the other attack speed, golem damage. You come all the way down here into the Flesh Eater board. You're not picking up Flesh Eater. You are just coming down, grabbing this glyph slot, which is going to be Corporeal. Next, you're going to go over to Erudite. Next, you're going to come down, and then you're going to go over to Targeted, just for extra elite damage. You're never going to get the extra dex requirements for these 2, the dex and willpower, because you don't really need to worry about it. The main stat you're going to be worrying about is your intelligence. This build, if you run the full stats that I'm doing, should easily get you around 1800 to 2000 intelligence, which is, you know, really good. Now, we come back up. Like I said, I was going to tell you, when you pick up Hulking Monstrosity, when you come up here, you're going to go grab Hulking Monstrosity, then you're going to go up here, take a little detour into over here to get Borrowed Strength, extra damage while golems are active. You're going to proc the extra thing from, you know, the bonus. Then you grab total percent armor, then you come up here. This is the Scent of Death Paragon board. You're going to come up, grab all these. You're going to take this specific route, grab this because the extra golem damage, as we're going to be picking up golem. Grab all the willpower all the way up here. Grab the willpower here. Grab Death Mark because of injured. Come up here. Go grab this. You want to maximize the amount of willpower you have on the golem glyph, as it's based off of willpower. The maximum you can have on this board specifically is 54 willpower, which gives you about 213% extra damage on your golem, and it also gets you the 25% extra damage increase. Then you're going to come over here. Once you get all that, you're going to come pick up Scent of Death. Just because when you start a boss, before, if you get lucky, you will not proc the 2 corpses nearby, give you damage reduction. With no corpses, you're mainly looking for the with no corpses nearby, you deal 50% extra damage. Once you grab that, you come up all the way up here and you come to your final board, which is Bone Graft. We're only picking it up for the really easy glyph node, which you're just gonna come up here. You're gonna come up here, grab all the decks. You're gonna go all the way around, grabbing all the decks you can on this board. We are using Essence on it for the extra critical strike damage, plus the extra critical strike deals increased damage to enemies that are not healthy. Always good. Now, if you did have the extra points, where you would go now, and say like you had all 225 points, you will go from up here, keep going up, and you're gonna grab Tenacity and Erudite. Not really though, but you will put your extra points in the dex, in the extra dexterity, and the extra damage to elites, just because extra dexterity is always good, because, you know, it gives you extra critical strike chance. It's always nice, you know, you always want to crit more. Now, I will go and show you the basic, you know, gameplay loop of this build really quick. I'm gonna come right over here. If you were watching stream, you will see the basics. I'm gonna do this on a boss training dummy, and I'm just gonna show you, you know, what you usually want to do. Now, configure training dummy, boss dummy, right? So what you want to do, you start out, say you had all your curse duration. Don't mind, you know, my skeletons. You know, I'm normally not gonna do this, but you do curse, proc vulnerability, blight, army of the dead, and press your golem button. Now, look. That took the entire boss training dummy down. Now, I'll show you another example. Let's go to Duriel, right? I'll show you what it looks like. Someone like Duriel, you know, moves a lot, right? Also notice with the Paragon board, it's built to in a way where you can activate the extra effects of the glyph without really needing to be at level 15, but it gives you extra stuff when you are on level 15 to get the increased radius. So I'm gonna go to Duriel real quick, show you, you know, what it would look like on a real boss. I could do Andiel, but because she, you know, stands more than Duriel, but you don't have that many materials for Andiel. I got plenty of, you know, stuff to summon the bosses to get Duriel materials, and I'm gonna do this without any potions, any essences, to show you basically what it does. Like as you saw when on that training dummy, when it fully happened, like when it only hit, right? It basically, you know, yeah, the skeletons and the mages were doing some damage, but as soon as the golem did its hit, before the golem did its ability, it was at like, you know, 80% health, right? When I hit the golem ability, it basically, watch this. Boom. See? Duriel's dead in, what? 10, 20 seconds. That is the basic thing you want to do in that build. Now, if I wasn't so tired, I would show, you know, Lilith. But with that, I'm gonna end stream. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, wherever you are. Morning if you're watching from a place where it's currently morning. I wish you a great day. Now get out there. Have a difference in the world. I know you can. I love you, everyone.